Hello and welcome to a Cheetah Digital Signals 20 Data-Driven Marketer Practitioner session. This session is about managing mobile moments in an omnichannel world. And my name is Bruce Swan, pictured at the bottom, where I am Senior Director of Product Marketing at Cheetah Digital, and I will soon be joined by Andy Gladwin, Senior Director of the Mobile Go-to-Market Strategy here at Cheetah Digital. Let's dig into today's content. Mobile should be the nucleus of any digital communication strategy. The relationship between consumers and enterprises is moving from physical to digital at such a fast pace, and to be effective, managing mobile channels and customer moments are critical for driving engagement. This has never been as important as it has been in the past year or so, as market and customer dynamics and consumer priorities are changing, as consumers are avoiding crowds, spending less time in stores and venues, and doing way more online and way more on their mobile device. Let's take a look at a few additional market dynamics. Consumers are as powered as ever to engage with a brand. There are so many ways for brands to interact with consumers, but there is an upside to this. Brands can now gather vast amounts of data on consumer behavior, learn from them, understand customer behavior, and even anticipate what they're likely to do next. And use those insights to power personalized engagement across all touchpoints, which is critical as consumers have so many touchpoints, many of which are mobile enabled, like email, SMS, or mobile apps, where research shows on average, consumers use at least 6 touchpoints to engage with a brand. And if there was ever any doubt about mobile in general, on average, consumers check their phone at least 96 times in any given day, which just shows how accessible not only mobile is, but your brand is as well. But there are so many challenges for today's marketers, starting with an inability to orchestrate interactions across channels and not taking mobile into account, considering that 53% of marketers have only a few of their marketing channels connected, and there are many reasons why. First, inaccessible data. The marketer does not have a single accessible view that gives a complete profile of who a customer is. They can't easily update a customer profile at different points in the customer journey, and even if they do have a customer profile, they can't quickly act upon insights. Typically, marketers have way too many tools to manage, different tools for email, mobile, social, and for managing other touchpoints. This creates an environment where there's siloed campaigns and operational inefficiencies, very costly integrations, and inconsistent experiences for consumers across channels. And then lastly, operating at scale. There are evolving channels and consumer expectations. There are extreme data volumes to select from, but also extreme throughput through channels like email or push. And lastly, the ability to access real-time continuous data feeds. And with that said, let me turn things over to Andy, where he will dig into how marketers can address these challenges and where Cheetah plays such a key role.
Thank you, Bruce. So I'm going to run through the 4 areas where we at Cheetah see mobile playing a key role within digital communication strategies. How mobile can reduce the friction in the engagement between enterprises and their customers. The data assets that mobile holds that can be leveraged for personalization. The operational and contextual benefits of a centralized solution, and the importance to always focus on business outcomes and measurables that can directly map back to this. Any enterprise that we speak to understandably wants to create the most frictionless relationship with their customers. To do so, they need to be present where their customers are. And this is on the native, habitual, and preferential environment and channels that consumers use every day, which is mobile. 8 out of 10 digital minutes reside on the mobile handset. And that was before the recent pandemic drove an increase to these observed behaviors, where during this period, as Bruce recognizes, there has been an acceleration in the movement of enterprise relationships from physical to digital. The first rule that we have to achieve frictionless engagement is to remove channel friction. Don't make consumers settle or compromise, or even worse, decide not to enroll in a program due to the channel choices available. Offer all channels to place the decision of the medium over which you engage in the hands of the customer and let them provide preferences. And these preferences may be applied down at subcategory levels. For instance, with a customer choosing to receive fraud alerts on SMS, benefiting from the immediacy of the channel, or to gain new content via push, where the rich environment of the app can share more depth of information, or to have promotions within a mobile wallet that offers convenient access to value. The point is to make sure that all channels are available and providing the opportunity for customers to share their preferences and apply those accordingly to remove channel friction. The second rule is to make your value offering known and to make it apparent in the places where it holds relevance, where you can inspire that decision to engage. This is essentially removing friction in the discovery or inspiration process. Enterprises must remove barriers to value by creating gateways to enroll in the places of relevance where consumers actively make assessments and decisions. When a consumer is making a consideration regarding a product or service and you can provide value, then be present at that moment by providing a gateway to access that value. This could be facilitated with a QR code to scan or a short code to text into on a shopping receipt, on radio or TV, in an aisle of a store, on the bottom of a restaurant menu, or even in a match day program. You get the gist. But the underlying point is to be present so that you can provide access to drive value and inspiration in the places of relevance at the moments of relevance. The final rule is to streamline enrollment. And Tap to Join is a great example of how enterprises can remove friction from the onboarding process of SMS. So here we have an example using Cheetah's own brand Infinity. The customer clicks on a button or link on their phone, and this pre-populates the destination shortcode of which a message is to be sent and the opt-in message to trigger it with the keyword. The customer clicks to send, and this then asks for confirmation of the second opt-in. This removes both customer effort and risk of customer typos, resulting in less friction or potential barriers in the enrollment process for new customers joining a program. There is an unfair competitive advantage to the enterprises that have the ability to effectively collect, manage, and action data within their digital communication strategy. The value of data is to drive more personalized engagements with customers, and according to McKinsey, when applied, there is a 10 to 30% uplift in revenue and retention for organizations when personalization is incorporated. Enterprises must capture and drive relevance in customer communications by leveraging the contextual and behavioral data that mobile has to offer. This could be to look at recency and frequency to decide whether to promote a loyalty program to a highly engaged customer or to reinforce value to customers that have been absent for an extended period and maybe at risk of churn. Location can help to provide contextual communications on entry or exit of a geofence, where in a sports example, it may be to highlight team news and on-premise retailer promotions on entry, and share match highlights and early access to tickets on exit from a stadium. At a macro level, location may help retailers to personalize according to weather, promoting raincoats to one destination whilst highlighting a swimwear range to customers in a different destination based on the current contextual environmental conditions. When asking customers for insights, preferences, or feedback, time can be critical in terms of response rates and also accuracy of data. Again, enterprises should use mobile channels to leverage their immediacy to be quite scientific on the time in which they are sent, so that customers are receiving this at a moment of relevance. As an example, when sending a feedback survey after an engineer visit, there will be a much greater chance of response straight after completion of the job, whilst the customer experience is in front of mind and relevant, rather than if it were to be sent down other channels where this may be read a day or two later and run the risk of the feedback being less clear as it is no longer front of mind, or even worse, for it to potentially not be responded to at all as the period of relevance to the customer has expired. Mobile is not only a great vehicle to ask for insights, but it can also enhance the customer experience using the mobile handset's native technology. By using the mobile phone's haptics, it enables a way in which we deliver promotions, preferential surveys, and questionnaires to be more engaging and interactive. This can be using a scratch screen, pressing to focus, dragging to spin a wheel, or swiping left or right to show product preferences to different ranges within an enterprise offering. The result is that it will improve call to action statistics, whether that is to gain voluntary insights from customers or redemption of offers. The increase in engagement as to how these messages are consumed will also reduce churn levels of recipients on these programs. So we understand the requirements for the channels and the importance of data, but the way in which this is managed can be instrumental to the success or failure in execution. At Cheetah, we firmly believe that a centralized solution to manage this drives operational and contextual benefits. Silo point solutions absolutely provide some interesting channel-specific offerings, but the inherent problem is that these operate in silos and need to be bolted together. This can be cumbersome and inefficient for enterprises in terms of requiring multiple solutions patched together operationally and technically as they try to address their total digital communication needs. Operationally, silos will result in multiple technical integrations with channel vendors, invoicing to each individual supplier, an interface that needs to be understood and managed for each subset of total channel needs, services being disjointed to solely focus on their specific channel remit, data and reporting needing to be manipulated to convert into actionable insights, and a strategic guidance that is restricted to the channel vendor's sphere of knowledge and technology. Centralization removes all of these inefficiencies. A centralized solution can offer a contextual 360-degree customer view and provide a unified voice across all channels. Behaviors on one channel may trigger a relevant message being distributed in real time on a different channel, or it could even change the segment categorization of a customer to ensure that they are managed appropriately for ongoing engagements on all channels. Bruce will talk a little bit more on this front in a moment. According to McKinsey, there is a 10 to 20% incremental boost in conversion rates and customer lifetime value when coordinating messages across channels. And we at Cheetah provide an intuitive interface, centralized environment to enable our customers to execute cross-channel engagements within this. Mobile is interwoven within a digital communication strategy and cannot be managed within silos. Driving tangible outcomes is central to our philosophy at Cheetah. Please ensure that whatever communications you roll out, that you consider the overarching business goals and relate performance back to this goal. Business goals may be to drive revenue, reduce OPEX, improve net promoter score. Then the function that this resides within could be billing, services, retail, operations, customer care, finance, security. And the metrics on which the performance is to be measured may be sales, missed deliveries, customer payments, volume of call center calls, number of complaints, average wait or resolution times. The organization should then assess the current status of performance within the function and then look at how to enhance and optimize using technology and services to drive a positive return on investment against the overarching business goal. Always focus on outcomes. At Cheetah, we have many different return on investment models within SMS, and an example here is that of appointment reminders. This could apply to many services, including restaurants, doctors, hairdressers, hotels, a car service, bank manager, or even a house viewing. Anything that has an appointment in the service industry, this can apply to. In this example, it highlights the cost for a missed appointment to a business and then assesses the way in which SMS reminders could reduce this by having less missed appointments, less void appointments, costing the business money for every vacancy that there is. This drives bottom line savings to an organization when used effectively. And when we look at this, we look at what's the cost to roll out the technology and the cost of the messages, and then look at an ROI for what is the net benefit to the organization when we look at this in terms of the overarching business goal of saving OPEX. We welcome you to discuss your use of SMS, where we are passionate to drive tangible business outcomes against various common proven use cases. With these 4 takeaways covered, I'll pass back over to Bruce to talk further about how Cheetah helps marketers with mobile. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Let me first remind you, or perhaps introduce you, to the Cheetah Digital Customer Engagement Suite. At the heart of the suite is the Cheetah Digital Engagement Data Platform. The Engagement Data Platform can ingest data from virtually any data source to provide that single, accessible view of a customer where a marketer can understand customer behavior and apply analytics to anticipate what they're likely to do next. Cheetah Experiences. Marketers use Cheetah Experiences for engaging with customers anywhere in the customer journey and gathering zero-party data. Cheetah Messaging, the cross-channel solution that helps marketers plan, launch, and measure the results of cross-channel campaigns. And lastly, Cheetah Loyalty. Cheetah Loyalty brings best-in-class loyalty program management within an engagement suite. I will point you to additional content at the end of the presentation should you want to learn more. Let me virtually whiteboard how the Customer Engagement Suite can drive engagement across all channels, starting with acquisition to cross-channel activation to drive engagement across all channels, which delivers meaningful outcomes for marketers. The journey could start with the scan of a QR code on a mobile device, which is managed behind the scenes by Cheetah Experiences, where the next step is a welcome email followed by an onboarding email promoting additional channels for engagement, delivering the right message through the right touch points at the right time, ultimately leading to a loyal relationship with a customer where the marketer can engage with a customer on any channel in a mobile-centric strategy. Some of the key mobile capabilities within the Customer Engagement Suite include the ability to create beautiful, interactive, mobile-ready email, personalized SMS in a cross-channel world, mobile app engagement, the ability to create mobile experiences anywhere in the customer journey, and loyalty management and mobile wallet capabilities. If you would like to learn more, please visit the Customer Engagement Suite or CES Help Center to get access to product information and product documentation. And lastly, the Cheetah YouTube channel, where there are product videos as well as a playlist dedicated to the marketing practitioner. And on behalf of Cheetah Digital, I thank you for your time today. Have a great day.